Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy, Nerd Mode On, and today is Wednesday, so we have yet again another episode of Would You Rather. This is a video series where I'll be going over approximately 5 questions and answering them in the most appropriate manner. So with the rules and guidelines reviewed, let's start off the episode. So coming in at our first Would You Rather question, I have Would you rather be famous or be the best friend of someone famous? And of course for my answer, I'd rather just be famous because you're always going to get the same amount of respect or the same amount of publicity. You're always going to be followed around. It's not really going to matter which position you get into, considering that if you're the friend, people want to know how you met this person. If you are famous, people want to know what you're doing, and they're always on you. So no matter what, you're still going to have people following you around, you're still going to have people being invasive, and they're going to be using their constitutional rights, at least in the United States, to the fullest of their ability to try to get to you. And of course, alongside that, if you're the friend, you may not always get these awesome deals, you may not be the person to be doing movies or have these awesome circumstances that put you in a financially stable position. However, if you are the famous person, that's what your livelihood depends on. You have a lot more stress in that aspect, but you've also probably accumulated some success. You've probably already become somebody that people want to work with, at least hopefully in that sense. And with that said, that should allow you to become a lot more successful and hopefully build you up to the next tier of success when it comes down to being famous. Coming in at our second question, I have Would you rather be half your height or double your weight? Now for somebody like me, I would rather be double my weight, considering that I'm very skinny as it is right now, and I couldn't imagine myself being approximately 3 foot tall in the way that I look right now. That just would look like an abomination and it wouldn't look quite right. However, being double my weight is definitely not something that I have any aspirations for, but it would still allow me to combine with society. I wouldn't have to worry as much about problems as much as the other option compared to being 3 foot tall. So I think this is a little bit better of an option. I mean, obviously I don't weigh a ton right now, so doubling my weight really isn't going to add a ton everywhere, but it's just going to make me a little bit more poofy, I guess, in that aspect, and I guess some people really enjoy that, so I should be able to combine with society very well. Coming in at our third question, I have Would you rather have invincibility and teleportation or the ability to read minds and fly? Now, I like the invincibility and teleportation option, considering that it allows me to hopefully get a lot more done because I don't have to travel, so I can just basically teleport to the location. As well as invincibility could be used for really a lot of things. You could use it for world purposes, you could use it for your own personal gain, you could really do anything with it. I mean, depending on how sick your mind wants to get, you could go pretty far with that. And it might be interesting for the first couple of times, but I imagine you'll see a lot of similar aspects within the people you're looking at. So I guess in that aspect, I still think it's a good option. I still think I could use it for good things. Hopefully the world would enjoy it, but it's just something I'd be more interested in by itself. Coming in at our fourth question, I have Would you rather have your mind serve as an iPod so you can listen to music anytime, or be able to watch your dreams on the television? Now, as much as I would like to be able to watch my dreams on the television, I really don't want them to be projected on there, considering that I don't always think they're always the most appropriate for TV. Sometimes, at night I just kind of go off of my own little world and do my thing, and sometimes they're not always the best. So I think straying away from that option would be better for me personally, but the iPod thing sounds really cool. It sounds like something that we could easily have in today's society, but by itself, it's pretty nice to be able to maybe have your eyes on the road when you're driving and just be able to flip between songs as you progress down the road, or whatever the case might be. And I think that would be really awesome, and I think it'd be something that hopefully soon we'll get, but I imagine there'll be complications and people writing against the idea, but it's still a cool idea nonetheless. And finally, coming in at our fifth question, I have Would you rather always be underdressed or overdressed? Now, of course, I'm going to go with overdressed, just considering that I think if you're overdressed, it's not as much of a big deal as if you just kind of came in there with, the Walmart traditional clothing, with your pajamas on, half pretty much ready to go and everything like that. I think you kind of get appearanced or criticized in different aspects than you would be if you just came in there with a tie and maybe a suit in that aspect. I don't think people would look at you as badly or even consider the circumstances. I just think they would look at it and go, well, he's probably going to a funeral, or he wants to look very professional for this particular circumstance. But I guess it really depends on where you're going, but by and large, I think being overdressed would be a little bit more socially acceptable in most establishments. But anyway, guys, this has been this episode of Would You Rather. Of course, if you guys are interested in answering the questions for yourself, they are in the description of the video, so feel free to let me know in the comments below, as well as maybe recommend a question for next week, considering that I take your guys' responses as a primary focus. But anyway, guys, this has been NMO, and I'm going to be signing out, guys, and I'll see you in the next episode. Peace.